Earlier before the break, I mentioned that we'll be having the stock market update with Ina, and she'll be getting to tell us how the market really performed last week. I'm really eager, but I'm always eager and excited to know how the market performed. And one organization, if it's an organization or company that I always attack, I'll be able to ask that right here on the Millennium Kwacha. Lina, good morning.
How are you?
Oh, we're great. It's a Monday again.
Yes, it's finally a Monday on Monday.
Yes, so we are getting there.
Yeah.
How has the market been performing?
Good. We're still good. We're still running. We're still moving. And for our viewers, good morning. So last week, remember, we had a very big week. We had a very, very big week. This week, we had a good week, though not as good as the previous week. So it slowed down a little bit, but still some good activity on the market, some really good activity. So just to give you our normal statistics for the week. So probably also because last week we had, remember the Tuesday on a Monday on a Tuesday, we had a holiday on Monday.
Yes.
So obviously it was a shorter trading week, so less opportunity to trade. Even though that happened, there were still some good numbers in terms of turnover. Total turnover, it dropped. However, it was at 5.4 million kwacha from last week. Volume of shares traded dropped a little bit as well to about 430,000 shares were traded, and the number of transactions which happened as well was down, but not too bad. 1,200 trades also approximately happened on the market last week. So the reduced activity shouldn't shock or worry anybody. We should still be okay with it. The market index rose by 2.08%, which is good. It means shares are appreciating in value. The market is growing. So we're getting to, remember I talked about that index, the number 18,808. That's where we are at the moment in terms of the number. So remember, we just hit the 8,000 mark. We're almost hitting to 19,000. So we are moving and we're still growing. Biggest movers last week was CEC and Airtel in terms of the turnover. So they contributed 49% and 35% respectively. And then in terms of volume, CEC led the way last week with 35% of the volume, followed by Zanaco at 25% of the volume of shares which were traded on the market. In terms of performance and share price appreciation, and what we mean by that is who gained the most, who lost the most in terms of share price value. So last week it was British American Tobacco Zambia, or BATS as we usually say it. They were the top gainer. They had a 25% increase in their share price. So the share price jumped 25%, which is a good move. You usually have your CCs moving, your Airtels. Nice to see British American Tobacco move up by 25%. And then AECI was followed also. They also followed suit with a 13% increase in their share price. The decliner for the week was Standard Chartered Bank, and they lost by 2.5%. So market capitalization, in other words, when we mean market cap, just to remind us again, it's the total value of the shares on the LuSE, which are listed on the LuSE. We're at 289 billion kwacha. So 289 billion kwacha. So we're heading towards the 300 billion mark, which is quite significant. So again, opportunities are showing that the market is growing. So those are your stats for the week. David, I just wanted to add. Remember, we started talking about SMEs, and we started talking about, look, there's an opportunity for SMEs to look. Maybe just to add another nugget to that is to say that we've seen the growth. The past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we've seen significant growth. Imagine an SME who, in terms of our requirements, we've made them much simpler and much easier because we understand SMEs need a lot of hand-holding and need a lot of help when coming to a public market, right? So if you want to issue your shares so that you can raise capital for your business, the LuSE is a very good place to come to. And we've talked about this, you're seeing companies grow, you're watching your friends grow, you're seeing, those are big companies. SMEs can do it too. So I don't want them to be discouraged or to be moved. The requirements are on our website, but I'll give you a snippet of one of the requirements which we need as the LuSE. In terms of turnover, in other words, the revenue which is generated, what we ask for really as the LuSE is not even that much. Between 250,000 kwacha to 20 million a year. So if you're in that range, and a lot of SMEs are in that range, if you're in that range, you've ticked one box already in terms of requirements for the market. However, as the LuSE was so open to help you and walk through the journey with you, if you need help or assistance, You can speak to any one of our registered brokers. You can speak to us as the exchange. We're more than happy to hear you out. Please reach out to us on our website or via email. All the details can be found there. We're more than happy for you to also experience the growth that these companies are experiencing here.
Yeah, wonderful. You're not asking me the usual question today.
Okay. Or I go ahead of you.
Yes, please.
Okay. Airtel.
How is Airtel doing it?
Airtel is good. They, as I mentioned, they were one of the drivers in terms of turnover, in terms of the value of shares, the value of the shares that were traded last week. They contributed, of the total amount last week, 32% was Airtel.
Wow.
So yes, and they're moving towards the share prices that are on 91 kwacha. So imagine they're almost getting to 100 kwacha in terms of share price. So get in there now. You'd like to buy them now, because if the price continues going up, it becomes now more costly for you to buy an Airtel share. But if you're an owner of Airtel shares, it's good for you.
It's good for you.
Yep.
Oh, that's a kudos to Airtel. I mean, I always love to attack them because it's something else out there. It's something else. But I think that's a great way that Airtel is actually taking, and the update is actually useful.
Yeah, I'm glad it is. And just like you're asking, David, if anyone has got any inquiries on any of the listed companies that are on the market, you can go to our website and find the details. You can find, okay, what is the share price, what was the turnover, what was the quantity. All those details can be found on our website. We update it daily.
Wonderful. All right, thank you for coming through.
No, thank you, David.
All right, thank you for staying tuned while we do dive into another segment, which is a talk segment right here on Millennium Kwacha. Just do make sure to follow the program on Facebook. That's with the handles Millennium TV Zambia. So